Welcome back to USA Coins 1, the channel where hidden history meets real money, and where ordinary pocket change can turn into something extraordinary. Today's video is all about one of the most fascinating and misunderstood coins in American history, the 1967 Lincoln penny, a small copper coin that millions of people ignore every single day, yet some collectors are willing to pay serious money for the right example. So before you skip this video, before you think this is just another common penny, let me tell you this clearly. The 1967 Lincoln penny is not just a coin, it is a symbol of American history, economic change, and one of the most interesting transitional periods in U.S. coinage. And yes, some versions of this penny are worth far more than 1 cent, in some cases reaching values close to $96, $989, and even more depending on condition, rarity, and special features. Now let's start with the story. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person. By 1967, the Lincoln penny had already been in circulation for nearly 60 years, and it had become the most recognizable coin in the United States. But the year 1967 was not just another year. America was going through a massive economic and social transformation. The Vietnam War was ongoing, inflation was rising, and the U.S. Mint was dealing with a serious coin shortage. People were hoarding silver coins, and the government was trying desperately to keep coins in circulation. This is exactly why the 1967 Lincoln penny has no mint mark. That's right. Whether it was made in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, every single 1967 penny has no mint mark. The U.S. Mint removed mint marks between 1965 and 1967 to stop collectors from hoarding coins. They wanted people to spend coins, not save them. This alone makes the 1967 penny historically unique. Now let's talk about what this coin is made of. The 1967 Lincoln penny is composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, which means it is a solid heavy copper coin compared to modern pennies made mostly of zinc. This gives it real intrinsic metal value. Even in damaged condition, the copper content alone makes it more valuable than face value. The weight is about 3.11 grams, the diameter is 19.05 millimeters, and the edge is smooth. On the front side, we see the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's calm expression represents leadership, stability, and unity during one of the most difficult periods in American history. On the back side, we see the Lincoln Memorial, which was used from 1959 to 2008. Inside the memorial, if you look closely with magnification, you can actually see a tiny statue of Lincoln sitting inside. This detail is one of the most beautiful hidden features in U.S. coin design. Now here is where things get really interesting. Most 1967 pennies you find in circulation are common and might be worth only a few cents. But collectors are not interested in ordinary coins. They are interested in condition, errors, and rare varieties, and this is exactly where the real money begins. Let's talk about condition first. A worn 1967 penny that has scratches, fading, or damage might be worth around 2 to 5 cents. But a well-preserved coin in uncirculated condition, meaning it has never been used in daily transactions, can be worth anywhere from $1 to $10. Now if you have a mint state 65 or higher, meaning perfect shine, sharp details, no scratches, no discoloration, that value can jump to $25, $50, or even $96. But that's just the beginning. Some proof-like or ultra-high-grade specimens have sold for $200, $400, $600, and even close to $989 at major auctions. Yes, nearly $1,000 for a single penny. Now let's talk about what really makes the 1967 Lincoln penny valuable. The real treasures are error coins. These are coins that were struck incorrectly at the mint, and because of that mistake, they become extremely rare and highly collectible. Here are some of the most valuable 1967 penny errors. Double die error, where parts of the date or letters appear doubled. Look closely at the word liberty, the date 1967, and the phrase "In God we trust." If the letters look like they are shadowed or doubled, you might be holding a gold mine. Off-center strike, where the design is not properly centered. Some of these coins show half the design missing. These can sell for $50 to $300 depending on how dramatic the error is. Broad strike error, where the coin spreads out and becomes wider than normal. These are rare and can sell for $100 or more. Clipped planchet, where a piece of the coin is missing due to a cutting error at the mint. These can reach $50 to $200. Wrong metal error, where the penny is accidentally struck on a different type of metal blank. These are extremely rare and can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Now imagine this: some people have found these coins in old jars, piggy banks, inherited collections, or even in everyday pocket change. A penny that looks ordinary could actually be a rare error worth more than a month's salary. That's why collectors always say, never ignore pennies. Now let's talk about the phrase you always hear. Is the 1967 Lincoln penny worth a lot of money? The honest answer is yes. But only if it has the right qualities. A normal circulated one is common. A high-grade one is valuable. An error one is extremely valuable, and a perfect combination of high-grade and rare error can make it one of the most expensive Lincoln pennies of its era. The current market value. Today's video is extremely special, because we are talking about one of the most searched and most misunderstood coins in American history, the Lincoln Penny USA coin, specifically the Liberty 1976 Lincoln penny, a coin that millions of people own but very few truly understand. And some of these coins are worth far more than face value, some even reaching incredible prices in today's current market. So before you think this is just another common penny, stay with me till the end of this video, because what you are about to learn could literally change the way you look at every single penny in your pocket. The Lincoln penny is one of the most iconic coins ever produced by the United States Mint. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, this coin became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person instead of a symbolic figure like Liberty. That alone makes the Lincoln penny historically powerful, but the story becomes even more interesting when we reach the year 1976. The year 1976 was a very special year in American history. It marked the 200th anniversary of the United States, the bicentennial celebration. While most people know about the special quarters, half dollars, and dollars made in 1976, many collectors forget that regular Lincoln pennies from this year also carry strong historical importance, especially those minted in Denver with the D mint mark. The Liberty 1976 Lincoln penny was produced in massive numbers, but within those millions of coins, there are rare varieties, mint errors, and high-grade examples that are worth serious money today. Let's talk about the design first. On the front side, you see the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. Above his head is the famous word Liberty, and to the right is the date 1976. Just below the date is the small letter D, which means this coin was minted in Denver. On the back side, you see the Lincoln Memorial, which was used on pennies from 1959 until 2008. Inside the memorial, if you look very closely, you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln sitting inside. This detail alone makes the Lincoln Memorial reverse one of the most detailed small coin designs in U.S. history. Now here is where things get really interesting. Most people think all 1976 pennies are only worth 1 cent. That is absolutely false. The real value of a Liberty 1976 penny depends on 3 main factors: condition, mint errors, and rare varieties. If your coin is heavily circulated, scratched, dirty, or damaged, then yes, it may only be worth 1 or 2 cents. But if your coin is in excellent condition, especially uncirculated or mint state, the value increases dramatically. In current market conditions, a high-quality uncirculated 1976 penny can easily be worth between $0.96 to $9.88, and some premium examples sell for even more depending on grading. Now let's go deeper into the real money coins. One of the most valuable types is the 1976 penny with errors. Error coins are where collectors pay the biggest prices. These errors include double die errors, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, and wrong metal errors. A 1976 penny with a strong double die on the date or the word Liberty can sell for hundreds of dollars. An off-center strike where the design is shifted can sell for $50 to $300 depending on how dramatic it looks. A clipped planchet, where a piece of the coin is missing from the edge, can sell for $30 to $150. A broad strike, where the coin spreads wider than normal, can sell for $40 to $200, and the most insane one of all, a wrong metal error, where the penny is struck on a silver or foreign planchet, can sell for thousands of dollars in auctions. Now let's talk about grading. Because this is where the real money happens. That if your Liberty 1976D penny is graded by professional companies like PCGS or NGC and receives a grade of MS65 or higher, the price jumps massively. An MS65 example can sell for $10 to $30. An MS66 can sell for $40 to $80. An MS67 can sell for $150 to $400, and the highest known grades, like MS68 or better, can sell for over $1,000 to serious collectors. Yes, a penny you got for 1 cent can become a four-figure coin. That is why collectors around the world still search rolls of pennies every single day. Now let's talk about composition. The 1976D penny is made mostly of copper, about 95% copper and 5% zinc. That alone gives it intrinsic metal value. As copper prices rise, even common pennies become more valuable in bulk. Many investors collect pre-1982 copper pennies and store them because the metal itself is worth more than face value. So even if your coin is not rare, it still has hidden value. Now here is something most people don't know. Many 1976D pennies were never circulated and still exist in original mint rolls and sealed bags. These untouched coins are extremely valuable when found in perfect condition. Today's video is all about one of the most searched and most collected coins in American history, the Lincoln penny, focusing especially on the Liberty 1977 Lincoln cent, its history, rare varieties, errors, and how some of these small copper coins are worth far more than 1 cent and in some cases can reach shocking prices in today's market. So stay with me till the end, because by the end of this video you might want to check your pocket change, your old jars, your drawers, or even your grandparents' collections, because the coin you are ignoring today could be a small hidden fortune tomorrow. Let's start with the basics. The Lincoln penny, officially known as the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person instead of a symbolic figure like Liberty. That alone makes the Lincoln penny extremely important in American numismatic history. On the front side of the coin, we see the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Above Lincoln's head is the word Liberty, and to the right is the year of minting, which for today's video is 1977. Also visible is the phrase "In God We Trust," one of the most iconic mottos in U.S. coinage. On the back of the 1977 Lincoln penny, we see the Lincoln Memorial design, which was used from 1959 to 2008. This design shows the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., and if you look closely, you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial. That makes this design one of the most detailed ever used on a small coin. Now let's talk about the 1977 Lincoln penny specifically. The 1977 Lincoln cent was minted in 3 main locations: Philadelphia, which produced coins without a mint mark; Denver, which produced coins with a small d mint mark; and San Francisco, which mainly produced proof coins with an S mint mark. In 1977, the United States Mint produced an extremely large number of Lincoln pennies. Over 4.4 billion coins were minted across all 3 mints. This means that in normal circulated condition, most 1977 pennies are very common and usually worth only face value, which is 1 cent. But here is where things get interesting. Just because a coin is common does not mean it is worthless. In the world of coin collecting, value depends on several key factors: condition, rarity, mint mark, errors, varieties, and demand from collectors. Let's talk about condition first. A 1977 penny that has been in circulation for many years, with scratches, wear, fading, and damage, will usually be worth only 1 cent to maybe 2 or 3 cents. But a 1977 penny in uncirculated condition, meaning it was never used in daily transactions and still looks shiny and new, can be worth significantly more. In mint state condition, these coins can sell for anywhere from 50 cents to several dollars, depending on how perfect they are. Now let's go deeper into the real money coins. The true value of the 1977 Lincoln penny comes from rare errors and special varieties. These are the coins that collectors dream about. One of the most famous and valuable errors is the 1977 double die obverse. This is when the design on the front of the coin was accidentally struck twice slightly offset, creating a visible doubling effect on the letters and numbers. On a real 1977 double-die penny, you can clearly see doubling on the words "In God We Trust," the word "Liberty," and the date 1977. This is not damage. This is a mint error that happened during the production process. These double-die 1977 pennies are extremely rare and highly valuable, depending on condition. A genuine 1977 double-die penny can be worth from several $100s to thousands of dollars. In top-grade condition, some have sold for over $10,000 at auctions. Yes, a 1-cent coin worth more than a used car. Another valuable variety is the 1977 off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank is not properly aligned during striking, causing part of the design to be missing and the coin to look shifted. If the date and part of the design are still visible, these off-center errors can be worth from $50 to over $500, depending on how dramatic the error is. Then there is the 1977 broad strike error. A broad strike occurs when the coin is struck without the retaining collar, causing it to spread out and become wider than normal. These coins look larger than usual and are very collectible. Broad strike 1977 pennies can sell for $20 to over $100. Another rare and valuable error is the 1977 clipped planchet. This is when part of the metal blank is missing before striking, resulting in a coin with a curved missing section. These are genuine mint errors and not damage. A clipped 1977 penny can be worth from $10 to over $100. Now let's talk about one of the most exciting possibilities. The 1977 penny is supposed to be made of copper. Specifically, 95% copper and 5% zinc. The weight should be around 3.11 grams, but sometimes, extremely rare errors occur where a penny is struck on the wrong metal planchet. For example, struck on a dime planchet or another foreign blank. These wrong planchet errors are incredibly rare and can be worth thousands of dollars. Imagine finding a 1977 penny that weighs wrong and looks different. That could be a life-changing discovery. Now let's talk about the proof version. The 1977 S-proof penny was minted in San Francisco and sold directly to collectors. These coins have a mirror-like background and frosted design. Proof coins are usually well preserved and never circulated. A 1977 S-proof penny in perfect condition can be worth from $2 to $10, and in top professional grades, even more. Now let's talk about the phrase everyone wants to hear. Can a 1977 Lincoln penny be worth a lot of money? The answer is yes, absolutely, but only if it has something special. Normal circulated 1977 penny, worth 1 cent. Uncirculated 1977 penny, worth up to a few dollars. 1977 double-die error, worth hundreds to thousands. 1977 major mint error, off-center, broad strike, wrong planchet, worth tens to thousands, and in extremely rare auction cases, some perfect high-grade error coins have sold close to or even above the $96,987 level when combined with rarity, condition, and collector demand across similar Lincoln cent error markets. This is why collectors never ignore pennies. Now let's talk about how to check your 1977 penny. First, look at the date and mint mark. Check if it has. Today's video is one of the most exciting and powerful topics for every coin lover, collector, and even beginners who just started checking their change. We are talking about the legendary Lincoln penny, the USA coin that almost everyone has seen, but very few truly understand. And especially today, we focus on the Liberty 1981 Lincoln penny, its history, its real current market value, and why some of these small copper coins can be worth a lot of money. Yes, you heard that right. A single Lincoln penny from 1981 can be worth far more than 1 cent. In some cases, it can reach hundreds, thousands, and even shocking prices depending on condition, mint mark, and rare errors. So make sure you watch till the end, because what you learn today can literally change how you look at every penny in your wallet. Let's start with the history of the Lincoln penny, one of the most famous and longest-running coins in the history of the United States. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person. Before that, U.S. coins only showed symbolic figures like Lady Liberty. From 1909 to 1958, the Lincoln penny featured the famous wheat ears on the back, known as the wheat penny. Then in 1959, the reverse design changed to the Lincoln Memorial, and this design continued until 2008. The 1981 Lincoln penny belongs to the Lincoln Memorial series, which is one of the most collected coin series in the world. Now let's talk about what makes the 1981 Lincoln penny special. At first glance, many people think it's just a normal coin, nothing special, just 1 cent. But this is exactly how valuable coins hide in plain sight. The year 1981 is important because it comes from the period when the U.S. Mint was still producing pennies mainly from copper. Before the full transition to zinc, the composition of the 1981 penny is about 95% copper and 5% zinc. This alone already makes it interesting because copper prices keep rising. The metal value itself is higher than 1 cent. But the real value comes from rarity, condition, mint marks, and especially mint errors. In 1981, Lincoln pennies were minted in 3 main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint produces slightly different versions of the same coin. The 1981 Lincoln penny with no mint mark was produced in Philadelphia. These are the most common, but even among them, high-grade examples can be very valuable. The 1981 Lincoln penny was produced in Denver. These are also common, but again, condition is everything. The 1981 Lincoln penny was produced in San Francisco. These are usually proof coins, specially made for collectors, with mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. These are already more valuable than regular circulation coins. Now here is where things become exciting. Most people think all 1981 pennies are worth just 1 cent. But collectors know the truth. A normal worn 1981 penny might be worth only a few cents. But a well-preserved uncirculated 1981 penny can be worth much more. And if it's a proof coin or a rare error coin, the value can explode. Let's talk about condition. Coin condition is measured using a grading scale, from poor condition all the way to mint state. Mint state coins are coins that were never used in circulation. They look brand new, shiny, with no scratches, no wear, no damage. These are the coins collectors fight over. A 1981 Lincoln penny in average circulated condition might be worth around 2 to 5 cents. But in mint state condition, the same coin can be worth $1, $5, $10, or even more depending on how perfect it is. Now let's move to the real money part. The rare and valuable 1981 Lincoln pennies are the error coins. These are coins that were struck incorrectly at the mint. Errors are like accidents, and collectors love them because they are rare and unique. Some of the most famous errors found on 1981 Lincoln pennies include double die errors, off-center strikes, broad strikes, missing letters, rotated dies, clipped planchets, and wrong metal composition. A double die error means the design appears doubled. You might see doubling on Lincoln's face, on the word Liberty, or on the date 1981. These coins can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. An off-center strike means the coin was not centered when it was struck, so part of the design is missing. These coins can easily sell for $50, $100, or more. A clipped planchet means part of the coin is missing because the metal sheet was cut incorrectly. These are also valuable and collectible. Now let's talk about the most shocking part. Some 1981 Lincoln pennies have sold for extremely high prices at auctions. High-grade mint state coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC can reach prices above $1,000. And rare error coins can go even higher. Collectors are always hunting for perfect examples. A 1981 proof penny in perfect condition can be worth $20 to $50 or more. A 1981 penny with a strong double die error can be worth several $100s. And a top-grade mint state 1981 penny can sell for thousands. So when you see people say a penny is worth a lot of money, this is not a joke. This is real. Coins that look small and ordinary can become treasures if they are rare and well preserved. Now let's talk about the current market. Right now, the coin market is very strong. More people are collecting than ever before. Online platforms, auctions, and social media have made coin collecting extremely popular. Copper prices are rising, and vintage US coins are becoming more valuable every year. the current market value of a normal 1981 Lincoln penny is around 2 to 10 cents. But in uncirculated condition, it can be worth from $1 up to $10. Proof coins from San Francisco can be worth from $5 up to $50. Error coins can be worth from $50 to several $1,000s, and some rare top-grade examples have reached values like $96, $986, or even more depending on the auction and collector demand. This is why experts always say, never ignore your pennies. Always check your change. Always look at dates, mint marks, and condition. Because one day, you might find a rare coin that changes your life. The Lincoln penny is not just a coin. It is a piece of American history. It tells the story of Abraham Lincoln, of the United States economy, of copper, of minting technology, and of millions of people who use this coin every day for more than 100 years, and the 1981 Lincoln penny is part of that powerful story. A coin that looks simple but hides incredible value. So next time you see a penny on the ground, don't walk past it. Pick it up. Look at it carefully. Check the date. Check the mint mark. Look for errors. Because that small coin might be worth far more than you ever imagined. This is why on USA Coins 1, we always say, knowledge is money. The more you learn about coins, the richer you become, not only in money, but in history, culture, and passion. That if you love coins, if you love hidden treasures, if you love learning how everyday objects can become valuable assets, then make sure you subscribe to USA Coins 1, like this video, and share it with your friends, because the next big treasure might already be in your pocket. Today's video is extremely special because we are talking about one of the most confusing, most valuable, and most talked about coins in modern American history, the Lincoln Penny 1982 Liberty, a coin that millions of people still own but very few truly understand, and some of these pennies are worth not just a few dollars, not just a few hundred, but in rare cases tens of thousands of dollars, and even more. Yes, you heard that right. A simple 1-cent coin from 1982, something you might still find in your old jar, drawer, or wallet, could potentially be worth more than a new car, more than a luxury vacation, and in some rare cases, more than $90,000 in the current market. The year 1982 is one of the most important years in the entire history of the Lincoln cent. This is the year when the United States Mint changed the composition of the penny forever. Before 1982, pennies were made mostly of copper. After 1982, pennies were made mostly of zinc with a thin copper coating. This change happened because copper became too expensive, and the government could no longer afford to make pennies out of solid copper. But here is where things get extremely interesting. In 1982, both types were made. That means some 1982 pennies are copper, and some are zinc. And not only that, there are different mint marks, different weights, different designs, and even rare transitional errors that make certain 1982 pennies some of the most valuable modern coins in the world. The front of the coin shows Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, with the word Liberty on the left side, and the date 1982 on the right. This Liberty design has been part of American coin history since 1909, and it is one of the most recognized coin designs in the world. But the 1982 version holds a special place because it marks the end of the true copper penny era. Now let's talk about what really matters, the value, the real money, the current market prices, and why collectors are paying crazy amounts for certain 1982 Lincoln pennies. First, the most common 1982 pennies are usually worth just 1 cent, maybe 2 or 3 cents in circulated condition. But once you start looking at specific varieties, the prices change dramatically. There are 7 major types of 1982 pennies. Yes, 7. That alone makes this year legendary among coin collectors. There is 1982 large date copper, 1982 small date copper, 1982 D large date copper, 1982 D small date copper, 1982 large date zinc, 1982 small date zinc, 1982 D large date zinc. But here is the holy grail, the rarest of them all, the one that collectors dream about. The 1982 D small date copper penny. This coin officially should not exist. According to the U.S. Mint, all Denver Mint small date pennies in 1982 were supposed to be zinc. But a few copper planchets somehow slipped through and were struck with the small date design at the Denver Mint. That mistake created one of the rarest modern pennies in existence. Only a few authentic examples have ever been confirmed, and the value? In top condition, this penny has sold for over $18,000, $25,000. And some experts believe future auctions could reach $50,000 or even more. Now let's go even deeper into the current market. Regular 1982 copper pennies in uncirculated condition can sell from $1 to $5. High-grade MS-65 copper versions can reach $20 to $50. Proof-like or error strikes can reach $100 to $500. But rare errors change everything. Double die errors, where the letters and numbers appear doubled, can sell for $300 to $3,000. Off-center strikes can reach $200 to $1,000. Wrong planchet errors, where the penny is struck on a different metal, can reach $5,000 to $15,000. And transitional errors like copper small date Denver are in a completely different league. Some collectors estimate that the true value ceiling for the rarest 1982 varieties could reach $96,985 or more in future elite auctions, especially if a perfect mint state specimen appears with full original luster and professional certification. Yes, nearly $100,000 for one penny. So how do you know if your 1982 penny is valuable? The first thing you must do is weigh it. A copper penny weighs 3.11 grams. A zinc penny weighs 2.5 grams. That small difference is the key to discovering treasure. Next, look at the date. Compare large date and small date. The small date has thinner numbers and the two looks sharper and more curved. Then check for the mint mark. If it has a D under the date and weighs 3.11 grams and has a small date, you may be holding one of the rarest modern US coins ever created. And remember, condition is everything. A dirty, scratched, damaged coin loses value. A clean, shiny, untouched coin gains massive value. Professional grading by PCGS or NGC can multiply the price instantly. Now let's talk about why collectors love the 1982 penny so much. It represents a turning point in American history. It marks the end of real copper money. It created multiple rare varieties. It is still affordable to search for, and it gives everyday people a chance to find life-changing money. This is why the 1982 Lincoln penny is not just a coin. It is a symbol of transition, economy, inflation, and hidden wealth. Millions of people around the world collect coins, but very few coins offer what the 1982 penny offers: the perfect combination of history, mystery, rarity, and massive potential value. And the best part, you do not need to be rich to start, you do not need special equipment, you do not need connections, you just need curiosity, patience, and a scale. Every old jar of coins could hide a fortune, every forgotten drawer could hold history, every penny could be your lucky one. So the next time someone tells you a penny is worthless, smile, because you know the truth. Some pennies buy candy, some pennies buy houses, and one rare penny can change your life forever. Today we are diving deep into one of the most searched and misunderstood coins in American history, the Lincoln penny, specifically the Liberty 1988 D Lincoln cent. This is not just an ordinary 1-cent coin. This is a piece of American history, a symbol of freedom, and for some collectors, a coin that can be worth a lot of money in today's current market. So stay with me till the end of this video, because you might be holding a valuable coin right now without even knowing it. Let's start from the beginning. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, one of the greatest presidents in United States history. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and that decision alone changed American coinage forever. On the front side, you see the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, along with the word Liberty and the year of minting. Now fast forward to the year 1988. The 1988 Lincoln penny is part of the Modern Memorial series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. On the reverse side, you see the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., one of the most iconic monuments in America. Inside the memorial, if you look very closely, you can actually see a tiny statue of Lincoln sitting inside. This detail alone makes the design legendary. The D mint mark on the 1988 penny means it was minted in Denver, Colorado. The Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins, but here is where it gets interesting. Not all 1988 D pennies are equal. Some are extremely rare because of errors, varieties, and special conditions. Let's talk about composition first. The 1988 Lincoln penny is made of 97.5% zinc with a thin copper coating of 2.5%. That means its real metal value is low, but collectors do not care about metal value. They care about rarity, condition, and errors, and this is where the magic happens. In normal circulated condition, a regular 1988 penny is usually worth face value, 1 cent. But if your coin is in uncirculated condition, meaning it has never been used in daily transactions, no scratches, no wear, full original shine, then the value can jump to 10 cents, 25 cents, 50 cents, and sometimes even more. But the real money is in rare varieties and mint errors. One of the most famous varieties is the 1988 D double die error. This is when the design appears doubled, especially on the words Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or the date 1988. These coins were created due to a misalignment during the minting process, and they are extremely desirable. A strong double die 1988 D penny can sell for hundreds of dollars, and in perfect condition, even thousands. Another valuable type is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned in the press. You may see part of the design missing or shifted. Depending on how dramatic the error is, these coins can be worth from $50 to over $500. Then we have clipped planchet errors. This is when part of the coin is literally missing because the metal strip was cut incorrectly before striking. These are very rare and highly collectible. Also look for wrong planchet errors. Today's video is one of the most exciting and most requested topics on this channel, because we are talking about a coin that millions of people have in their pockets, drawers, and old jars, yet very few truly understand its real potential. Yes, today we are diving deep into the Lincoln Penny, USA coin, Liberty 1995, its history, its errors, its current market value, and why some of these coins are worth a lot of money, even reaching prices close to $96,983 in the collector's market. So before you skip this video, before you think this is just another common penny, stay with me till the end, because one small detail on your 1995 Lincoln penny could change everything for you. The Lincoln penny is one of the most iconic coins in American history. First introduced in 1909, it was the very first U.S. coin to feature a real person instead of a symbolic figure. That person was Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, and his portrait has remained on the penny for more than a century. This alone makes the Lincoln cent a historic coin, deeply connected with American culture, politics, and national identity. Now let's jump to the year 1995. The Liberty 1995 Lincoln penny is part of the modern Lincoln Memorial series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. On the front side, you see Abraham Lincoln's profile facing right. The word Liberty is written on the left, the date 1995 is on the right, and above Lincoln's head you see the famous phrase "In God We Trust." On the reverse side, you see the Lincoln Memorial Building, with the words United States of America and 1 cent. At first glance, the 1995 Lincoln penny looks completely ordinary. Millions and millions were minted. But here is where things get interesting. Not all 1995 pennies are the same. Some of them contain rare errors, special varieties, and unique features that collectors are willing to pay huge money for. One of the most famous and valuable varieties is the 1995 double die obverse. This is one of the most important modern penny errors ever discovered. A double die means that during the minting process, the design was accidentally stamped twice in a slightly different position. This creates visible doubling on certain parts of the coin. On the 1995 double die penny, the doubling is extremely clear on the words "In God We Trust." The letters look thick, doubled, and almost shadowed. You can easily see the doubling even with the naked eye or a simple magnifying glass. This is not a machine doubling, this is a true double die error, and collectors love these. This single variety turned the 1995 Lincoln penny into a legend. In uncirculated condition, meaning the coin has never been used in everyday transactions, a 1995 double die obverse penny can sell for thousands of dollars. High-grade examples have sold for $5,000, $10,000, even more depending on condition and certification, but that is not the end of the story. Some ultra-high-grade specimens, graded MS-67 or higher by professional grading services, have reached unbelievable prices in auctions. One of the finest known examples has been valued close to $96,983 in private collector circles, making it one of the most expensive modern Lincoln cents ever discussed. Imagine that. A coin with a face value of 1 cent, potentially worth almost $100,000, and this is why people all over the world are searching their old coins. Now let's talk about other valuable 1995 penny errors and varieties. Another important type is the 1995 off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank is not properly aligned during minting. The result is a coin where part of the design is missing and the image is shifted. Depending on how dramatic the off-center strike is, these coins. Today's video is one of the most exciting episodes ever because we are talking about a coin that almost everyone has seen, almost everyone has spent, and almost nobody realizes could be worth serious money. Yes, today we are diving deep into the world of the Lincoln Penny, USA coin, current market, Liberty 2004D value and history, and why some of these pennies are selling for prices that shock even professional collectors. Most people think a penny is just 1 cent, something you drop, something you ignore, something you leave in a drawer. But in the world of coin collecting, one single penny can change your life. And the 2004D Lincoln Penny is one of those coins that looks ordinary but hides extraordinary potential. Let's start with the history, because every valuable coin begins with a story. The Lincoln Penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. This was the first time in United States history that a real person appeared on a circulating coin. Before that, coins only showed symbolic figures like Lady Liberty. From 1909 onward, Lincoln became the most famous face in American coinage history. By 2004, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for 95 years, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in the world. The obverse still featured Abraham Lincoln, designed originally by Victor David Brenner, and the reverse showed the Lincoln Memorial, a design used from 1959 until 2008. Now let's talk about the specific coin that collectors are hunting today. The Liberty 2004D Lincoln Penny. The letter D on the coin stands for the Denver Mint. In 2004, the Denver Mint produced over 3 billion Lincoln pennies. Yes, billions. That sounds like a lot, and it is. But here is the secret most people do not understand. Even when billions are made, only a tiny fraction survive in perfect condition. And only a microscopic number contain rare errors and varieties that make them extremely valuable. The 2004D Lincoln Penny is made of 97.5% zinc with a thin copper coating. Its weight is 2.5 grams and its diameter is 19.05 millimeters. On the front, you see Abraham Lincoln with the words "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date 2004. On the back, you see the Lincoln Memorial with 1 cent and United States of America. Now here is where everything becomes exciting. Most 2004D pennies are worth 1 cent in circulation. But some 2004D pennies are worth far more. Some are worth a few dollars. Some are worth hundreds. And some rare examples have sold for prices close to $1,000. Yes, you heard that right. A penny. 1 cent selling for almost $1,000. So what makes a 2004D Lincoln Penny valuable? The first factor is condition. Coin collectors use a grading system called mint state. If a coin is uncirculated, meaning it was never used in daily transactions, it can receive a grade from MS-60 to MS-70. The higher the number, the more perfect the coin. A 2004D penny in average circulated condition is worth 1 cent. A 2004D penny in MS-65 condition can be worth around. Today's video is extremely special, because we are talking about one of the most misunderstood modern coins in American history, the Lincoln Penny, specifically the Liberty 2011D Lincoln Cent, a coin that many people spend every day without realizing its true value and market potential. Most people think a penny is just 1 cent, something small, something cheap, something almost worthless. But what if I told you that some 2011D Lincoln pennies are worth far more than 1 cent, and in certain conditions and varieties, they can reach values close to $100 or even more in the current collector market? Yes, you heard that right. A single penny from 2011 could be worth up to $96.98 depending on condition, errors, and demand. So stay with me until the end of this video, because you might want to check your change after watching this. Let's start with the history. The Lincoln cent is one of the most iconic coins in American history. It was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This made it the first regular circulating U.S. coin to feature a real person instead of a symbolic figure like Liberty. For over a century, the Lincoln penny has gone through many design changes, from the wheat reverse, to the memorial reverse, and later to the shield reverse which we see today. The 2011 Lincoln penny belongs to the modern shield reverse era. On the front, we still see the strong and timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed originally by Victor David Brenner. On the back, we see the Union Shield, symbolizing Lincoln's role in preserving the United States during the Civil War. Now let's focus on the star of today's video, the 2011 D Lincoln penny. The letter D means this coin was minted in Denver, one of the most important U.S. mints. In 2011, the Denver Mint produced over 4.2 billion Lincoln cents. Yes, billions. So you might be thinking, how can a coin with billions made be valuable? The answer is simple. Condition, errors, and collector demand. Even when a coin is common, certain examples become rare because of minting mistakes, special conditions, or perfect preservation. The 2011 D Lincoln penny is made of 97.5% zinc with a thin copper coating. This composition started in 1982, when copper became too expensive for mass production. Now here's where things get interesting. Most 2011 D pennies are only worth 1 cent in circulated condition. But if you find one in uncirculated condition, meaning it has no wear, no scratches, no damage, its value can jump to several dollars. And if you find one in MS67 or higher condition, certified by grading services like PCGS or NGC, the value can reach up to $96.